Hello, hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. So, welcome everyone to the conversation series with Women of Substance. Today is episode 8, and I'm extremely excited to introduce our guest for today, Abhimanika, who is an actor, TV host, a fitness professional, member of Physique Global, choreographer and co founder of Abhimanika Entertainment Concepts, and Mom Athletic, a fitness movement. She is also known for her achievements in national and international pageants. She bagged pageant titles like Mrs. Universe Intelligence 2017, Mrs. Asia Pacific Universe 2017, Mrs. India Beauty Queen 2016, Mrs. Talented MIBQ, Mrs. Fitness MIBQ. She's also the winner of a fitness and fashion competition called The Show, which was held in 2020. Besides all of this, she is a social giver with impeccable passion towards health and well being. I'm extremely happy to have her as part of the conversation series. Abhimanika, thank you so much for joining in, and I really look forward to starting off our conversation. Hi, Abhimanika.
Hi, I hope my video is clear. There's some network issue.
Your audio and video is very clear. It's so good to see you.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
How have you been doing? How has 2020 been for you?
I want to be positive. I know all of us are going through a lot of stress and multiple other things in terms of finances and emotional trauma. A lot of people are going through a lot of stress, but I really want to be positive and I want to uh, be thankful for whatever is happening around us. We actually have realized a lot of things. I don't think we have ever um, faced this situation, something like this, and we have realized the whole point is, there's a lot of realization in all of us. So this is like a positive change in our lives. I'm sure there's going to be good things that are going to happen in the future.
Wow, that's such a positive way of looking at things, Abhimanika. And all your posts also, which you share on social media, are so positive and so wonderful. And I am someone who loves following your posts, who loves trying to attempt to do these, challenges that you post online. You have been in the public eye for so long now. So my first question to you is this something that was planned? Was it all a part of the plan to get into acting, modeling, beauty pageants?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. No, I never thought of getting into modeling or anything related to the glamorous field or the entertainment field. Though I always enjoyed dancing since my childhood, but acting, movies, or modeling or beauty pageants were never in my list. All I wanted to do was do my masters and get into a corporate job and like every other girl during my college days, my only ambition was to just get into some big MNC, literally earn in big figures.
Right.
So no, this happened. I would say according to the situations, we also have to learn to adapt to those changes because these are the challenges that are really unexpected in our lives. We never know what is going to happen the next minute as well. So we need to be prepared. I think that's what I've learned in my entire journey, especially in my professional career. So I kind of grabbed all the opportunities that came my way.
Right, right. And fitness, were you always someone who was involved in fitness? When did that become such a huge part of your life?
So I've as a child, as a kid, my mom always made us do a couple of yoga asanas. She's a yoga practitioner. I remember every time. So because my mom is my guru, classical dance. Basically, she's an Andhanatyam dancer. So after every session of our dance, she used to make us do a couple of asanas. So
Okay.
I knew those basic asanas. I used to accompany my mom to her yoga sessions, but fitness was never, even in my growing years, I've seen my mom doing it. My mother made it very, in a very peppy way, putting on some music, dancing, and then she used to do one asana, by the time she finished her asana, I would just chill and relax and then get back to some dance moves. So for me, dancing was the
Right.
only way to work out and stay fit.
Yeah.
But fitness on a professional note happened only a couple of years ago. I would say about like 7, 8 years ago. Before that, I started because I wanted to lose weight,
Right.
which was like the biggest challenge of my life, which it took a lot of dedication, a lot of sacrifices. No, so in a healthy way, not in a very wrong way. Like when you talk about losing weight, people think of only cutting down on food, not eating completely. No, which I did not do that. All I did was maintain my food habits, maintain the timings, sleep properly, and work out every day.
Right.
So, and I could see a lot of change in myself physically and mentally. And then after years, few years down the line, fitness happened just like that. Started with Zumba. So I'll also tell this. I don't usually tell people about this. With Zumba, I went crazy because I love dancing. And I started dancing, like literally 16 hours of dancing in a day. Dance, 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 dance. I literally screwed up my knees. I'm so sorry, but I abused my knees, which I did not realize until a long time, where
Right.
I could not even move. I could not, sit down. I could not. The moment I moved my foot, took a step ahead, I used to get a jerk. Those jerks, that needle poking pain.
Right. Yes.
That's when I realized how important strength training is for a human being. Though we get carried away, it happens. I'm sure it happens with all of us. You're into dancing and you know how important strength training is.
Yes.
You're only going to ruin your knees and your back. So that's when I realized I educated myself for my own, health benefits. Then I decided I should take it on a professional note, do some certifications, and give the same to the people. Make sure, I wanted to create that awareness. And that's when, I started talking more about health and fitness. I used to do it before,
Right.
but then, I lacked knowledge. I'm accepting
Right.
that. I did not know. But once I realized that, dancing has come down and fitness and strength training has gone up. I
Wow.
dance very less now.
But that's such an important point that you've just brought out, Abhimanika. I myself know a lot of dancers, especially Indian classical, who damage their knees very early in their career because, like even you've trained in Andhra Natyam, you know how much of pressure we put on our knees every time we stamp our feet, and not understanding the strain we're putting on our knees is such a wrong way to go about things.
Right.
So yeah, it's wonderful that you've
Posture. Yes,
yeah.
posture. And the problem is, even when you want to tell people, this is what happens with me most of the times. When I tell people, no, this is very important, they only think that, okay, this girl is telling me because she's into fitness. It's not just about that. It's about uh, you building up that strength to work for the future. If you really
Correct.
want to dance long, until a long run, or even if you, for that matter, walking normally instead of
Yes.
limping and struggling with that pain, if you really want to do that, then you have to work on strength training. I think I also mentioned this to you long
Yes,
back.
yes, absolutely. And I must let our viewers know that I met Abhimanika as part of a panel discussion. Both of us were on the panel. And after that, I was just following her on Instagram, and I understood the kind of work that she does. And I was going through a phase wherein I put on a lot of weight. I wasn't able to dance. My stamina went down. And I just sent her a message, and she was so gracious enough to respond. And we had a chat after that. And is that something you do, Abhimanika? Because you're a social media influencer and you must be having so many people flooding your DMs with messages. So is that something that comes to you naturally to reach out to people and help?
Of course, I love to help people. I'll tell you because this is the great, way of reaching out to people. The social media platform. It's a great way to get connected, help people. We never know who is going through
Yeah.
what in their lives. So the least you can do is just hear them out, and if you could help them in any way, So I feel the knowledge that I have regarding fitness, or anything related to fitness, or you know I also had been a part of women organizations where I get to hear different stories. So I feel as a responsible citizen, when I know something, I should always learn to give it to people, and you will definitely get a lot of things in return. So which is, I'm not saying you should expect something from it, but you will definitely get to learn a lot from them as well.
Right.
That's when you will know how blessed you are in your life.
Absolutely. That's such a wonderful thought, Abhimanika. And like you rightly pointed out, I don't think the social media platforms are anymore about just posting random stuff. It's become such a powerful tool, and you're using it to inspire so many people. It's just so wonderful. If there was one message you could give the youngsters of today's generation about fitness, what would that be?
Don't get carried away by watching those videos. Of course, we put up such nice fancy videos on fitness, wearing those sexy sports bras and leggings. It's not just about that. But don't do it because you have to do it. Don't do it because you just want to lose weight. Do it because you want to feel good. You want to stay healthy. If you want to really stay young until, for almost till the later ages of your life, then work out. Make it a habit. It's not just about, especially youngsters, because there's a lot of stress going around us. Everybody's
Yeah.
in the house doing
Yes.
online sessions. I would also say, because my son is also getting frustrated staying in the house. So I know how important fitness or physical activity is. You can just play some music, start dancing, and even that's a workout. Whatever you are doing is also, it releases all that stress. And even if you're working out, put on some good music, work out, all that. For that 1 hour or 1.5 hours that you're working out, you will not think of anything else. You're
Yes.
only concentrating on your own self. So that is the best thing that you can do. That's the best gift you can do. Uh, and if you are happy, people around you in your family will be happy. So that's what I realized in my family. Whenever, if you are happy and energetic and active all the time, you see everybody in the house is always
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
You carry a positive vibe.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting like that, "Arey, I feel lazy, it's boring," and everybody else in the family starts feeling the same thing.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
very
am always
contagious.
like this.
Yeah. Energies are very contagious. Yeah. True.
So that, that energy, it's, I don't know how people might think, okay, she's mad, she's talking about energy. And it's nothing related to spirituality, or
Yeah.
nothing related to any religion. It's all about how you feel, the kind of vibe you create in the environment, in the surroundings. That's
Yes.
important.
Yes. So true. So true. Um, Abhimanika, you mentioned in a few posts that you were into acting and you have also been a TV host. So can you tell us about that experience?
Acting, I would say I did not do much of it. I've been auditioning for a couple of series or movies, I would say. But yes, I have my fitness show on TV.
Yeah.
I've been, part of the show called Get Set Fit in the local language, but it's on the national television. And we have crossed about like 830 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah, and right now we've stopped shooting because of the COVID, but I would say it is the longest running fitness show in Telugu. So, or for that matter, I think any language. I don't think there are fitness shows or fitness series that went beyond 500 episodes. I'm not really sure, but yes, this is the longest running fitness show. So I do show a lot of exercises,
Okay.
home-based exercises without equipment or minimum equipment that people can do at their convenience at their homes. And all the episodes are up on the YouTube channel.
Right, right. Wonderful. I can't wait to catch up with some of these episodes
You
once the
should.
lockdown has been lifted. Um, can you tell us a little bit about your experience participating in beauty pageants, Abhimanika? You won so many titles. You've represented the country on a global platform. How was that experience?
Wonderful, I would say. There was so much learning because until I went for my Mrs. India, I wasn't sure that I could, do something like that, get into beauty pageants and walk on the ramp as a professional, model or whatever, the participant, wearing those glamorous outfits and talking and present. So I was sure I could do it, but somewhere, you're always hesitant. We
Yeah.
always underestimate ourselves.
Right.
Trust me, we always do that, but I don't anymore. Back then, when I went for my first pageant, I was very nervous. I could not speak much. But then I think that was one of the platforms where I realized my potential. Standing tall,
Yeah.
dressing up for yourself, understanding how makeup is done, how to do your hair and everything on a very professional note. Until then, it was like, chalta, you can do anything. Because my fitness profession never needed makeup or
Correct.
hair. Just put your hair up,
Yeah.
ponytail, wear your shoes, get ready and get going.
Right.
So that was like a biggest challenge. I did learn all of this, and today I tell girls how to dress up.
Wow.
I tell them tips on makeup,
Right.
skin and hair and all of it. So yeah, that's like a huge I would say task for me to learn because I
Right.
was never into all of this.
Yeah.
And one more thing, because I get this a lot, people tell me you never needed all of this. You're already blessed with such a good skin and such hair. But trust me, I think people should also think about, just because somebody else has a good skin, you can't label them saying, "What do you know?" The person is also going through a lot of things. So I get this a lot. Oh, you're fair skin, that's why you get work. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
you have a good skin, that's why. Oh, it did take a. It's not my fault.
Right.
You should also understand, in case I, harm you or pass any negative comment saying that, okay, look at me, I'm like this and you are like this,
Yeah.
then that's really bad. When
Right.
there are people who do this. I think people also should remember it has nothing to do with your skin color or your hair color or your eye color. It
Yes.
all depends on the way you are. There are many women or the girls who reach out to me asking me for this. Ma'am, I have acne. Can I go? Ma'am, I'm too skinny. Can I go? There are people who ask me. It's not, there are, now I think it's the phase for girls uh, to transform from being skinny to being fit. I get
Yeah.
inquiries from people asking me, how do I gain weight? I
Amazing.
think, yeah. So I think people should remember this. Someone who is thin, please don't tell them that, why do you need fitness? Someone who is fair, please don't tell them that, oh, you're fair, you will get work easily. It has nothing to do with your skin or hair. Maybe sometimes it depends on the organization who's
Correct.
conducting it, but please don't do that.
Right, right. I was actually going to ask you a question related to this, Abhimanika. A lot of people have these notions about being in the public eye. Like if you're an actor or if you're a model or if you're into beauty pageants, you know what? No big deal. It's not very difficult. Or, oh, people who are in that field are a certain way. Misconceptions that people have about certain professions. So, what is your take on that?
I would say, every profession has its pros and cons. You
Yes.
can't really discriminate and say, okay, this is good, this is respectable job, this is where you lose your respect. No, it has nothing to do with the profession. If you are really hardworking, if you're genuine, see, everywhere there is negativity,
Yeah.
everywhere people will respect you for your work, for the way you behave, for the way you present yourself. So if you are encouraging somebody else for that, it's up to you. See, it's your personal call. But do not judge a person by their profession. And modeling, I would say, beauty pageants, or for that matter, modeling, girls are very safe when it comes to women. They're really safe. You know what you think about casting couch and everything. I'm sure it happens in every profession. I
Right.
know it happens in different professions, but it just doesn't come out because this is the most glamorous industry. It has got to do with more of your skin and good looks and personality. But if you know how to handle yourself, then nothing like it. Girls are very safe. Nobody would touch you without your consent. And if they do it, it is their loss because they are going to get
Yeah.
everybody would do because it's a team that works together, including
Right.
the photographer, makeup artist, hairstylist, and the model, and that's a huge team. There's nothing that you should be insecure of. I
Right.
think people should get out of this notion that models are available. The tag. Please don't do that. I have many friends in that industry, and they work really hard. And you do not know the struggle. They take so much pain, though they have fever. Suddenly on the show day, if they have to hit the ramp, they have high fever, which happened to me during my pageants, international pageants. I had, because of the change of weather and all, I had high fever. I was on paracetamol. We carried a couple of medicines, and walking in those high heels is not a joke. Trust me, it takes, though you're used to it, but after a certain point, you really have to endure that pain and still go out, set the ramp on fire with a big smile and, throw that attitude. And trust me, that's really painful. It takes a lot of courage to do that.
Right. A lot of courage and a lot of positivity also, I think, because you have to put on a big smile and give out a lot of positive vibes. So, how do you deal with bad days, Abhimanika? Being in the public eye, what
Yeah,
do you do when you have a bad day?
for me, very honestly, I think from the last few years, fitness or yoga, I love yoga. I do practice yoga, but fitness is something that always made me feel good,
Okay.
releasing all those endorphins. You feel happy and you are energetic. I just finished my session, and I'm always like this. You meet me at any point in the middle of the night, you wake me up, you're like, hey, come on, let's go, what's up? So I'm
Right.
always like this. I
Right.
know for a fact somewhere my body wants to give up that particular day, and I might feel low. Of course, we are all human beings, not just because we put up such good pose, all those nice happening pose.
Yeah.
There are some low days. But I think if you really deal with it in a positive way, you want to give yourself some time, relax, sleep. You want to sleep. You want to have an ice cream, have an ice cream. If you want to just go out, go out. If you want to talk to a friend, call up, talk to your friend. Do anything that will make you happy at that particular moment. Don't think of what others would think. You want to just dress up? I dress up. Very honestly, if I feel low
Yeah.
these days because we're in the lockdown,
Yeah.
I'm so used to doing a lot of shoots,
Right.
going out, getting nice professional clicks done. We just dress up, make myself happy,
Yeah.
put the selfie or, stick your camera to the tripod, click some nice picture.
I know.
Happy, you get
Right.
yourself happy. That's enough. You don't really need something. You have technology. Back then, yes, you did not have access, but you can do everything for your own self.
Right, right. That's such a simple way to keep yourself happy. It's so wonderful to hear you say that. Um, Abhimanika, for people who follow you on your social media, I'm sure they know who your son is. He's so popular. He's known as hashtag My Little Tavish. So can you tell us a little bit about your role as a mom?
It's challenging.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's sometimes very tiring. I'm being very honest. It's not because we moms who are on social media, who are influencers, put up such nice posts about kids and parenting. It's not always like that. We do have our own struggles, and especially when, like you said, when people know us. I mean, Tavish and me, somebody like that. There are a lot of expectations.
Right.
It's a lot of stress, a lot of responsibility for us moms and also for the child, because people expect that the kid, because we put up couple of posts, of course, he's quite mature for his age, but then um, when people meet such kids, they forget that they're meeting a kid who is 8 or 9 year old or a 5-year-old kid. They start treating him like an adult. I think that should be stopped because when you see them on screen, it's different. Or if you see them in the videos, it's different because they're enacting or just they're being themselves.
Right.
But I would say that is, that kind of stresses me, and that is why there are a lot of offers that the kid has received to act and all that. but I wanted him to enjoy his childhood. See, it's
Yeah.
everybody's choice, but there are mood swings. There are a lot of arguments. We do have our time, especially when we dance together and when he wakes up. And there are a lot of arguments. Trust me, we keep arguing. People, whenever they look at us, they think that we are only doing all that "oh, mommy, baby" types, but that happens. But there is constant fight. They're like Tavish, and they're like man. So this is happening non-stop. So parenting, I would say, is not an easy task. Everybody has to deal with it in their own way. There is nothing called perfection. Just because we handle it in a different way, it's not perfect. That might be perfect for me, and you might have your own way. So whoever's watching us here, to all the mothers and fathers, please know your kid. You know your kid better than anybody else in the world. Even if somebody tells you something, don't go put it on your kid, because you should know what your kid likes. And if you want certain things to be done, there is a way to deal with it. So for me, I know what Tavish likes, what he doesn't like. And if I want him to do a couple of things for his betterment, I put it out in a different way. I don't say, oh, you have to do it. It happens sometimes when he plays those games, and if he's before the screen for a long time, they're like, Tavish, I'm going to give you a time up now, you have to do it. So that is the only time we end up fighting. But otherwise, rest, it's all cool.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful relationship you share with your son, Abhimanika. But being in the public eye, I mean, I'm sure you do face a lot of criticism as well. I mean, I think it's a package deal. With the applause comes a lot of criticism as well. So how do you deal with that?
I'll tell you, more than men, I guess there are a lot of women who criticize me.
Yeah,
For
I'm
the kind
not
of clothes I
surprised.
wear,
I'm not surprised.
for the kind of clothes I wear, especially. People, I think they have a different notion. Being a mother, you have to be fully covered. You have to just behave in a certain way. I do not behave in a certain way with my son because I want to be myself with my kid. Even if I'm wearing a bikini, it has to be normal for him. If I do not, inculcate such things in his head, tomorrow's day he will end up like any other guy who doesn't know to respect women. Or
Right.
if he looks at a girl in a bikini, that's like a big deal. That's still there in our society today. Is
Yeah.
there anywhere written that, so people say, oh, she's too modern, she's too Western, that she's wearing a bikini before her kid. There is a way to handle such things, normalize it. Now, today's day, when I say, Tavish, I have stomach pain, I have periods, so I think I want you to just go easy. Don't irritate mama. He understands. He knows, okay, my mom has stomach ache, so I need to just make her feel good. So he does that, which is good. They will learn. Today's day, he's doing that with me. Tomorrow's day, he might do it with his wife or his daughter, for that
Right.
matter. So, which is important. This
Yes.
is where people, when I put a post about saying, I talk to my kid about me, what period is. They should know that awareness is good. You're
Yes.
so shameless, you're putting it out like that. How can you talk to your son about periods? How can you wear a bikini before your son? I don't take them too seriously. Trust me, because I know I'm raising my child with lots of awareness, which is important, which I think our ancestors lack. That could be because of lack of awareness or lack of knowledge. Now that we are aware of certain things, it is important for them to know.
Yes. Yes.
So especially these things they do, and I do talk about being a single mom. So he doesn't really see. It's not about being a mother as a mother, be it a single or a married mom, I would say. But I think the struggle is a little more when it comes to a single parent, because the entire responsibility is on that one person. Sometimes it gets really challenging to understand, make the kid understand certain things, but it can still be handled.
Right.
Trust me on that. There is nothing that I don't find anything challenging to make Tavish understand, because now that we share a different relationship, he understands what divorce is. It's always good to talk about kids about these things. Of course, you need to keep their age in mind because they will not understand everything completely.
Correct.
But I think you should always tell them about the situations that are happening around us. They
Yes.
need to be aware of it.
Yes, it starts at home. That's what people say, right? Education starts at home. And it's so wonderful that you share such an open relationship with your son, Abhimanika. That's such an inspiration to all the young mothers out there. I'm sure you must be getting a lot of messages from young mothers.
Yes, yes, I do.
Right, right.
So I would really like to tell this one experience that I had just the
Sure.
other night. I think two nights ago. So I was just telling Tavish about how he should learn to respect women now that he's growing up, and he has to make sure he doesn't tease anybody. And if somebody else is doing, he has to go out and help the girl, even if it's his classmate or somebody on the streets, because and he has to learn to be polite and nice with everybody, especially women, because people think, they have a different notion about kids from single parents. So I also went ahead and told him that, Tavish, people also might end up telling you, sometimes you might be in a different state of mind and you might just shout and just say something, and they will also come and tell that, okay, this kid is very arrogant because he's raised by a single mom. They will also tell you that he doesn't know to respect because he's raised by a single mom. Then, you know what he told me? Mama, I would only go and tell one thing to them. Do you even know how much does it take to be raised by a single mom? And he just said that one sentence, and I was like, okay, I know where I'm going. I know how am I raising my son, so that's enough. I that was the full stop to the conversation.
Amazing, amazing, Abhimanika. I mean, that just shows so much of strength that you have in you, to not just be such a strong, independent, successful woman, but to be such a wonderful mom. I
I
think
know I must thank
respect,
the kid as well.
respect. What would be this one message you would give out to single moms, Abhimanika? Because I think now we are in 2020 when people are taking the step to do what is right for them, health wise, mentally. If you're in a toxic relationship, walk out if that's the best thing to do. What would that one message be if you would have to give a message to single parents out there?
First thing I would say is, if they're already divorced and if they're, going on with their lives, and if they find someone really good who could accept the mother and the child, or the father and the child, please go ahead. You did not think about the society. What would society think about second marriage or third marriage? It's your life, it's your choice. You should definitely put out everything, the positives and the negatives of what you're doing. That happens in every marriage. Before you get into a marriage, everybody checks what the bride is, how she is, how the guy is. They check for the positives and the negatives. Nobody's perfect. But just because you are a divorcee, or if you've got out of a relationship, doesn't mean you don't deserve a second marriage. Please, if you get an opportunity, if you feel, and if your heart really wants it, if your mind, if your body really needs, please go ahead. I would say that. I think I think this is the first time I'm addressing this, because I've seen a lot of people who are getting out of their first marriage, and they're struggling to get into another relationship because of these notions where that the society has created for them. Oh, he's so shameless, she's so shameless to get married again. Please don't think about them. And people who are, facing an abusive marriage, who are in an emotional trauma or whatever that is, if you feel you're not happy, if you feel you're not respected, suppose there are problems in every marriage.
Yes.
If you both can sort it out, please do it. And also, please don't get out of a marriage for silly reasons, saying you don't cook well, saying you don't talk well, saying, these are very silly. Just because I've heard cases, because my mother is a lawyer.
Okay.
I've come across cases where the guy left the girl because she cannot make chapatis round. And also, there's another case where the woman got to know after the marriage that the guy is bald. Poor guy managed to wear a wig, and maybe he was insecure. I think the Ujjara Chaman movie is so relatable.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
these things, I'm talking about these things when I was in my college.
Right.
Yeah, I was in my college when I came across these cases. So my mom used to, because I was a little in an age where I could understand things, my mother used to discuss all of these things with me. So I realized, bald, you have to leave your husband just because he's bald? Or do you have to leave your wife because she cannot make round chapatis? That's ridiculous. So please don't fight for such silly reasons and leave your partners. There is a lot. It has to take a lot of, you need to get into arguments. You need to show love to each other. You need to be, trustworthy. You should be loyal. If you have to work out the relationship, then yes, sit and talk it out. There is always good to talk it out.
Yes.
Today's day, even if you ask me, if you are fighting with your mother, for that matter, any relationship, your father, your sister, your brother, talk it out. Tell the other person that you like this, you do not like this.
Yes.
Put it in a good way. So they will know, at least they will know that, okay, she doesn't like this or he doesn't like this. Let's work it out in the other way. I think that's what happens. And if still things don't work out in your way, or if it's not happening, please move out in a healthy way. You don't really have to fight and make it worse or nasty for each other. We're all grown-ups. We need to handle it in a very mature and a healthy way. And even today's day, if you ask me, I'm still in touch with my ex-husband, and my Tavish visits his father. So I keep getting these questions. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to stop the kid from meeting the father or the mother. Please don't do that. It's not the child's mistake.
Right. Right. That's so true. Thank you so much for sharing that, Abhimanika. I'm sure that's going to really help a lot of people who are going through situations like this, and they probably just need to hear it. So yeah, thank you for that. You founded something called Mom Athletic, a fitness program,
Yes.
which gained a lot of popularity on social media. And I think there were a few episodes also that were shot, or they are still being shot. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to start it off, and how the feedback has been, and what inspires you and motivates you to continue doing it?
So, so all I wanted was, I've been doing this for a long time, so I wanted to give a proper name to it.
Right.
So, hence Mom Athletic, and it has got nothing to do only with mothers. It is for everyone. It's just a name. So, so
Right.
I wanted to give a different name to it, so I just put it up, and it is to create, awareness about healthy lifestyle. Physically, mentally, emotionally. I talk a lot about mental health and physical health to people, and Mom Athletic is one such initiative for me. Like you said, how do you talk to everybody? Yes, I talk to everybody and anybody who messages me talking about, especially health, fitness, and depression. And people who are watching us here, please don't send me DMs asking all random questions. No, I will not answer random questions. If you really have some genuine issue, I am there. I will help you out. And this is what I want to do. And my team, we all work together to help people get into a healthy lifestyle.
Right.
One, because healthy lifestyle will lead to a lot of healthy thoughts. It's directly proportional to your mental health. It is, you will also know how your life is changing in a positive way. Like you asked me, you have your low days. I hardly remember my low days now. Because
Wow.
back then I remember I used to always sulk about things that I did not have. I used to always think, what is this life? Why am I even alive? Why is this happening with me? Why me? Why me? I'm sure all of us get this
Yeah.
at one point of time. Why me?
Yes.
Today's day, I don't think I get that thought anymore. I don't even, I'm just feeling a little low, but it's okay. I can pull it off. I know I can pull it off. So you will get to that stage where any challenge or any situation that you encounter in your day to day life, you will be ready in a snap to take it. So I would say physically also, suppose today's day, Amy, if your husband is sick, you can, if you're physically strong, you can carry him and walk to
Yeah,
the boat.
I've seen you do that on so many videos. You have such heavy men standing on your thighs, and you're lifting such heavy weights. I mean, it's amazing.
I don't do that to prove anybody anything,
I
but
know. Yeah.
but let me tell you this. It's very important in your day-to-day life. I know my Tavish is almost to my height now, but if suppose he's sick and if he's not in a situation to get up and walk, I should be in a position to at least carry him or at least to an
Right.
extent where I can take him and go. Think about it. What if you're the only person in the house and if there is no help and if
Yeah.
your partner or your kid, if they're sick and they're not in a position to move, what would you do?
So true.
Just think about it. Or if there is somebody, if it's only you, or these days that it's all nuclear families, and if somebody has a broken leg or something happens, fracture, they cannot move, you should be in a position to at least hold them, take their little weight, and know how to handle. There is a technique to take the weight of a person.
Yes.
You will understand how can you take that weight. Even if
Right.
it's your husband, if he's not in a situation to walk, and if he's just limping, and
Yes.
he needs that support, you will know how to hold them and still walk. Even if somebody is putting a weight, especially a man, because they are physically a little stronger, weight
Yes.
wise also. When
Yes.
they just put their weight on us, you can't take it.
Mm.
Be practical.
Right.
But you will know how to handle such situations, help them out. You can't be dependent on some third person to, be there and do it. So for me, these are very functional. They should be handy. So fitness for me is that. Think
Right.
about those real-time situations or problems that you encounter in your life.
Right. That's so practical more than anything else. Um, what was the best piece of advice you've received in your life, Abhimanika, and by whom?
And I would always say my mom. She's always been that. Though we fight a lot, trust me on that. Though my mom and I fight a lot, but we have our own set of um, good conversations. We cry, we laugh, we do. And she's more naughtier. Okay, I'll be very honest. She's very naughty. My mom, she's the coolest person, I would say. She's always. I think I've inherited those skills from her. She's always given me the best advices at the right time of my life. She prepared me for the worst things. See, had I not been dealing with things in my childhood, she always told me about she spoke about divorce because I'll openly tell this also. My mom is also a single parent. I was raised by a single mom. I know the struggles she faced. So I think she always made sure that I gained knowledge, I behaved well, I learned discipline, and I should know how to face situations and handle those challenges. I've learned it from her. So today's day, whatever I am, the way I look, the way I behave, or the way I put out things, it's all from my mother. Thanks
Amazing.
to her for giving me this nice skin
I
and
was
taking
just
care
going
of
to
me.
ask you actually what your, daily routine is like to maintain such beautiful skin and hair, but it seems like it's genetic.
It is genetic, and also my mom put in a lot of effort. Every
Okay.
Sunday used to be for my, like those movies you see it in movies.
Huh.
Mother sits with the daughter, putting up all the
Wow, how
haldi,
sweet.
all the nice oil massages.
Yeah.
I was like that. She treated me like that with pure haldi, and that sunni pindi that you call the
Yes.
basin one. She did all of that.
Do
I
you
was
still
I
do
was
all
such
of
a
that?
late.
Still follow the same routine?
She still does. I am not. That way, if you ask me, I am not.
No?
She did take care of a lot of things. She has lots and lots of patience, which I do not have compared to her.
Right.
Especially in taking care of my skin and hair, I do. But when it comes, compared to my mother, it's very less. But yeah, regular shampooing and all those natural ingredients, they do help. Don't go by these shampoos, all the too many chemicalized ones. No, no
Right.
ways.
Right.
Yeah,
And what if I may ask, Abhimanika, what is your diet like? Because you're so into fitness, and when your diet isn't really balanced, there is a notion that you need to eat less, or you need to avoid sugar, or you need to avoid fatty foods. What is your diet like?
I eat everything, Amy. Everything. Trust me. I can also show you what is cooked in my house today. And I'm such a rice lover. People think that I do not even touch rice. Why? No, I love eating rice. I love, love, love eating rice. And I have dal, rice every day. I eat fruits. And my mom still gets those, do you know, those own laddus of sununda that you call, those
Yeah,
dry
yeah.
fruit laddus and all that. She still gets it done for us. And um, I eat that. Yeah, less of sugars, of course, less of sugars, minimal sugar, and good sabzis, chapati, rice, dal, sabzi, homemade. So I
Ah,
don't eat outside food much, and because we cook it at home, we are very we know how much oil to use and all. That's what I follow, and that's what I've been following since I was a kid. My
okay.
mom always made such nutritious food. You want to have Chinese? I'm going to make Chinese for you at home. So this is what we used to do. So whenever we wanted to eat something, of course we used to eat outside. Not that my mom's a very strict person, but she said she was very conscious about the health because we used to be very, very sick. Both my brother and I, we
Yes.
were very sick. So
Okay.
I, being a very sick person, very unhealthy girl,
Oh,
very anemic,
oh.
weak. I was from there. So my mom feels really happy because she's seen me transforming from there. Even my father, because I've always been weak. I used to always be like this.
I actually, so
Always.
sorry to interrupt you, but I remember seeing a few pictures of yours 10 years back and now. I mean, it's such a transformation, even in the way you look. Um, Hats off to you, Abhimanika. Really amazing.
So I will tell you, there are a lot of people back then who always told me that you're not so photogenic. When I went to a couple of photographers to get some pictures, like, or even during my college, there were a couple of my um, classmates who had good camera phones because camera phones were just new that time. I
Right.
didn't have a camera phone, so they clicked my picture and said, "Oh, you don't have such a good face. You don't. Your face is not photogenic." I used to feel bad, of course, because we are girls.
Yeah.
But the same people came back to me and said, "Wow, you look so beautiful. Your face is so photogenic." And I'm like, okay. But it did take a lot of hard work. Nothing comes easy. Anybody, if it could be your profession, it could be your personal, it could be your mental state, you need to work on it. You can't just sit and say that I'm going to become thin, I'm going to become healthy just by sitting
Yeah.
or just by expecting things will come to us naturally, or it won't happen.
Right.
You have to really work hard, stay disciplined in life. Discipline is important.
Yes. And I think these wonderful qualities of yours was what helped you win a fashion and fitness competition in 2020, the show. How was that experience, Abhimanika? Tell us a little
That
about
there's
that.
a story behind it. I only went to the show because I wanted to get back to my fitness after an injury. So
Oh,
I was remember when we met,
yes,
I
I
mentioned about
remember.
that injury. So after that, I did not work out for 5 months.
Okay.
So I was going through a very low phase, and because I was not able to work out, that was pulling me down. I could not move. I was helpless, and I was trying to really pull myself up, tell myself that I can do okay, everything will be fine. It's just a matter of few days or months. But somewhere I know I was, it was not helping me. But then I thought, okay, I saw this poster through known sources. They sent it to me. They said there's this fitness competition. I just applied, keeping a target that I need to get back to my workouts. It was not about winning the competition, but
Right.
it was for me to get back to my working routine,
Yeah.
my exercising. So that was the only reason. But then I thought, okay, any which ways I'm going for the show, I need to make sure I give my 100%. I just can't randomly go, and hence those wings for the bikini round, and the other round was a cocktail round. So we were assessed, fitness industry, there are a lot of people feel that if you're into fitness, you need to look masculine. You need to look, your biceps, your triceps, your abs should be visible.
Right.
I wanted to actually, and thanks to the organizers, because they were really, that concept of bringing fitness and fashion together was great, which I personally relate to, because I'm also into fashion, I'm also into fitness.
Yes.
So people think somebody who is into fashion cannot be into fitness. They think people who are into fitness cannot be into fashion.
Right.
So you can still be thin, you can still be fit, and still do not have those muscles or masculine body and still look fit. So I wanted to set this example, and I achieved doing it, and that worked.
Amazing. I know that is a preconceived notion that people have. Like if you work out, you become muscular and then you don't look feminine anymore. I think it's about time people let go of those preconceived notions.
Especially girls, many women feel that if they use weight, if they start lifting weights, they'll become masculine. So there is a way to train. Of course, it depends on the goal. If your goal is to gain, build muscle, then it's different. There are many women athletes who go to bodybuilding competitions, and you see them having six pack. And there are women who still lift heavy and still look toned, without their muscles being visible. I think I'm one among them.
Yes, you definitely are.
So the moment
sorry, I'm so sorry. You were saying?
They look at me, they tell that, are you a fitness trainer? You don't have muscles.
Right. I think on a to be very positive about it, I still think people are understanding a lot about fitness now. People are showing a lot of interest towards it, even amongst the dancing community. Even for me, fitness wasn't something that was taught to us when we were taught dance. We were just taught how to dance. But I think that culture is coming in now, and I think it's very important. And like you rightly said, if you want to continue dancing or doing any physical activity for a longer duration of your life, if you're not strong enough, you can't do it. Your body won't be able to take it. So I think it's wonderful that you're helping so many people, Abhimanika, and I'm definitely one of them. So thank you so much for that.
Always there to help. Thank you so much for getting me here today to talk about it. And you have been asking me so many questions since then. So I want you to teach me something that we can just sit here and do it. I've always wanted to, get back to my classical dancing, which I actually did, but thanks to COVID, I was supposed to do a show with my mother.
Okay.
But it got cancelled thanks to the situation right now.
Right.
But I so miss dancing, especially classical dance.
Right.
So now I'm asking you to teach me something. Maybe everybody should know that.
Sure, I would love to. I mean, maybe we could try out the Navarasas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll just say the rasa, I'll just say the emotion, and maybe you can try and show me what you feel like, through your emotions.
Apart from Amy's followers, if my followers are following today, please do watch her. She's beautiful. She's so graceful. You should look at her pictures. I always message her saying, you look so pretty and gorgeous. She looks so gorgeous in those outfits. And your expression, trust me, I'll be like, wow. The moment I look at your picture, I'm like, wow. So
you're so kind, Abhimanika. And this is another thing that I love about you, because a lot of people have, again, a preconceived notion that women can never be friends, or women don't really appreciate each other, or they always being negative about each other. But this is something that I genuinely feel with you. It's such a good positive vibe, and it's amazing.
We always forget that we if we team up, we'll become stronger.
Yes.
If you start showing that negativity for each other, then you will never grow personally or even as a team. If you really want to do something and grow together, then you always need to work with each other, make things work out for each other. So I feel this is important that people forget.
Right.
They always take it in a competitive way. Yes, take it in a competitive way, but in a healthy way. You don't really have to be enemies to be a competition. You can be still good friends and be in a good competition.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yes, let's try out the Navarasas, Abhimanika, because I'm always ready to dance. So I'm gonna say the expression, the rasa, and maybe you can try emoting it, and then I'll try it, and we can help each other learn it
No,
better.
you tell me, I will do it. I'm not that great. You show me, then maybe I will.
Okay, so let's start with Shringaram. Shringaram is to feel shy. So in classical, at least in, in Indian classical dancing, we use
Feel
our eyes
shy.
a lot. So what
Yeah.
we usually do is we do this: we look up, and then we look down, and we look up again. You
Oh,
could use
wow.
your hands also.
My mom is like, I miss my mom now. Okay. Okay, let's try it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. You're a natural. You're a natural. Amazing.
My mom always told me that you are very bad with your expressions. Work on your expressions. She
No,
is
I
very
think
good
you're
at it.
fantastic, and I really think you should start dancing again,
Then
Abhimanika.
you should teach me something. We'll do one.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so much for being a part of the series, and it was wonderful to have this chat with you. Any parting thoughts before we sign off?
Nothing, I would say, because I think everybody is talking about everything around now. When you open the social media, there are so many positive thoughts. That's a good thing, because the moment you open up, if there is a nice positive quote, it actually makes your day. And if you've seen, I started writing affirmations, which I missed today because of my busy schedule, but it does help. Maybe one thing that you could do for yourself is write down the affirmations, or tell yourself that today is going to be a good day. Today is going to be my best day of my life, or I am going to love myself a bit more, however I am. Even if you look messed up, even if you look shabby, even if your eyebrows are grown, even if you have hair on, girls especially, you have hair on your hands and your legs, you still should love yourself. That will not define what kind of a person you are. Even if you think that your mood is off and some thought is bugging you, take a deep breath. It helps. Take a deep breath, put on a nice music, listen to it, breathe out, you'll feel good. So it doesn't it's easy to say that, okay, inhale and exhale, but trust me, you need to just calm yourself down and tell that, okay, I'm fine, I am blessed.
Yeah, please, please give us your final closing beautiful thoughts, because I was just connecting with what you were saying, truly.
Yeah, so just tell yourself each day that it's going to be good, and you will make it through in a very positive way. And I think that's important, because we forget to tell ourselves that we are good. Whatever you are, you cannot be the other person. So just do that for yourself, and that will be the best thing that you could do. And trust me, those positive thoughts will you'll carry, like we talked about positive vibes, you will carry that all through the day.
Yeah.
And definitely don't forget fitness and exercising.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Abhimanika, for being a part of the series. And before we sign off, I just have one last fun question for you. If there was one thing, if there was one thing you could change about your life, about yourself, you know, would there be anything?
I realized sometimes when I realize that my work is not done on time, and I know that somebody in my circle, when especially when it comes to my work or anything in the house, I'm going to confess this, I lose it. I freak out. So
Yeah.
for me, being punctual, finishing time, your work on time is very important. That is what actually describes your personality, and that's how you grow. You will learn discipline that way. You can't just sit and say, okay, let's finish it tomorrow. And no, your client is not going to wait for you, or people are not going to wait for you to do it. So you have to always make sure you get things done. But then that moment of anger, I think I
Yeah.
should I should learn to deal it in a better way.
Right. But then I must say it's so beautiful that you're accepting it. I think acceptance is the first thing. A lot of people don't accept it, hence they don't know what they need to change about themselves to make themselves feel better. So thank you so much for being such a beautiful, genuine, and giving human being, for inspiring so many people across age groups, for just being there, for responding to messages, for responding to calls. I don't know too many people who do that. And that was one of the main reasons why I just had to have you on the show, despite the fact that I don't really know you personally too well. But the 1 2 times that I interacted with you, it was just such a positive vibe. So thank you so much, Abhimanika, for being a part of this series. And I really look forward to interacting with you, collaborating with you, and learning from you.
And you are going to teach me another item and we are going to perform. I can't wait. I think I told you this back then also, we should do something, but
Yes.
I'm really looking forward. So let's plan that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 2021 might be the year when we experiment and collaborate and put up something.
Let's do that. Let's
Yes.
do that.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who's been watching, all your fans. I did see a few messages that came in, but I didn't really take up those questions because I think the answers were covered in our conversation. So thank you so
Right.
much, everyone, for watching. Stay safe. Take care, Abhimanika. Good night.
Thank you. Thanks to you too. And I would also say, if anybody has questions, please message us, Amy or me. We are always there to respond and help you out. It might take time, but we will definitely get back to you. So thank you so much for joining us too, guys. Thank you so much, Amy, for having me today.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Goodbye.